And that's next in my reading list. Hi friends, and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to tell you 3 habits that changed my life. I actually went ahead to find definition of habit, and turns out there is just so much variation in defining habit and habit formation, and there's a lot of work being done where researchers are trying to find how long it takes to call a behavior a habit. Anyway, there is an agreement that habit is a form of automaticity, which means there is a repetitive pattern of behavior occurring subconsciously. Now, those 3 habits that changed my life are reading nonfiction, exercising, and scheduling. Reading has been my habit since childhood. That's how I got these glasses. But I used to read more of fiction. Now, ever since I've started reading nonfiction, that really changed the dynamics. I made this habit part of my productivity, and I learned so many new concepts which involve better lifestyle, career orientation, or just improving my learning curve. So I say, if fiction is for imagination, nonfiction is to enlighten the growth mindset. And books like Anything You Want by Derek Sivers, Mindset by Carol Dweck, or Moment of Lift by Melinda Gates give so much motivation and inspiration that it really gets you to do something that you have been wanting to do for so long. For me, I either buy them or read on iBook. And they both have their own flavor. Buying books gives a sense of satisfaction, whereas iBooks are so handy and convenient. The other option I'm thinking is to get audiobooks, and I haven't started it yet, but I think that will also be a really good, convenient. I also keep a record of my reading list on Notion, which is my favorite app, and I'm going to talk about it in some other video. But for the books, I do categorize them into what I'm reading right now or I have to yet start. Also, if I find something pretty interesting about the book, an article or a journal piece, I kind of keep a record of that as well. I have to say that reading nonfiction has given me a productive routine and a new dimension to weight knowledge. So if you're looking for something like that, go for nonfiction. Now comes habit number 2, which is exercising. I also started working out with the idealistic image of losing weight, but over the years, I learned what an amazing process this is. I am now mentally active, which means my brain is charged, which I need. And not just that, my skin is healthy, and above all, it's the strength. I am physically active and I feel strong. And like it said, if you're physically active, if you're physically strong, that has a direct impact on your career and on working on different projects, which involves your brain. I have to agree that exercising is a very hard job when you just started. So consistency is the key here. And I do this, that I find a host to attach to. I started doing F45, which is a functional training class for 45 minutes, and I started that in my university. So this whole group activity really got me motivated, and then I was looking forward to it every single day because I had a trainer who was pumped up, and I had other students who were also involved in the same goal that I was going for. These days I'm doing an outdoor run, and that's because there's this beautiful scenery out there and it's so breathtaking. I cannot miss going there. And then I'm linking going out with my exercise. Bingo. One thing I do is I record my exercise. So I do the data collection where I'm putting in information about my diet, what I'm eating, the days I've worked out, and I color code them. I use MX Excel, I use Evernote. So just having numbers will get you going. So I also have started doing that, and it really works. So it's like, oh, I have to get that tick on my exercise today, so I'm gonna go, and that helps. My 3rd habit is scheduling. I have so much on my plate. I am a PhD student, which itself is a full-time job. I'm a wife, again, a full-time job. I run a small business and now I'm trying YouTube. So I had this dire need to manage it all before I lose my mind. So here, my habit of scheduling came to rescue. For the past 6 years, I have been scheduling my days, weeks, or months and kind of organizing the whole routine, and that is only improving. I have been a big fan of notebooks and list pads. I also use apps, Notion being my favorite app. I try to do weekly agenda and just put the checklist of what I have to do each day, and then I go to this every night to see if I've accomplished what I had set for that day. The other thing I do is time boxing. So time boxing is a concept for time management where you kind of allocate a certain time for a specific task and you are then bound to do that. So that also helps you kind of organize the day with specific timings, and if you have a lot in your schedule, this time boxing technique really helps. The other technique is Pomodoro technique, and that is again a time management technique, and it breaks down your work into intervals. So if usually people do 25 minutes of work and then they take 5 to 10 minutes of break, and then the cycle goes on. It's applicable on some people. It's not like I wouldn't do this if I'm doing my research work, because I do need a lot of time to work on one single thing before I can take a break. But I can do this on some other tasks, for example, YouTube, making a YouTube video. And if you want to know more about productivity, study skills, and the apps that I use for that, subscribe to my channel and stay tuned. For my scheduling, I also have kept whiteboards, and the reason is that whiteboards are just like on your face. So every time you wake up, you would have that board telling you, you have to do this task. It also brings a balance in my routine, and I have seen a significant change in my productivity based on this particular habit. But do remember, schedule is an approximation. You have to make it realistic, and you do not have to worry for not being behind. It's just again, I have to say, consistency is the key. So just be consistent and understand how much you can make out of one day, and then you can improve on that. So keep a record of your progress and just be consistent and schedule your day and see if that works. I hope this video was helpful, and if you were looking for some new habits, try to adapt any of these and then let me know in a couple of weeks what you think.